Welcome to Spoofers, the podcast where we talk about random things.
Welcome, everybody, to Spoofers Lounge. This is episode 9. I will be your host this evening, Rodney Blevins. You might know me from episode 2. You might wonder why am I the host here tonight, because tonight we're going to talk to the man behind the podcast himself, Michael Kolaluka. Welcome, Michael, to the podcast tonight.
Most interesting man, Rodney. How we doing, man?
I'm doing outstanding. We figured we'd flip the script tonight and get a little information about the man behind the podcast himself. So we're just going to go right at it. We're going to start off with the first question.
Okay.
And Michael, how and when did you decide to start this podcast? And where did it come from?
Oh, man. Gosh, I want to say it happened last year. And I was with my cousin, Nicholas. You met him. Big K. She was the one on the, she's just been on the show. And we were talking. And I was like, man, a podcast, if someone like Theo Vaughn and Joe Rogan, they do these podcasts. And they get all these great people. And, they're great shows. And they get all these people. And I'm going, man, it's like, everyone tells me I have a good personality and I got something good. And I got some wild stories, and everyone I know has some wild stories. And I was like, I bet you I can make something entertaining for people to want to tune in and just kill their day going to work,
I think you're doing a hell of a job so far.
I think it, so we kind of did that. I was like, I bet you we can make something pretty entertaining, because even, my wife, Rob, was like, I don't know how in the hell you get on these adventures, but what in the fuck are you doing? I was like, man, you know what? These make some pretty good stories. I might want to share this with the world. So here we are,
There you go. And hey, I think it's working great. I mean, this, like I said, this is episode 9. I believe you got some more in your back pocket already.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we got, man, I've had some real good ones. We've had Councilman Smith. We had Richard. We've had, obviously, you, the Chris from the Boxcar, and Josh Decard. Man, Josh was an amazing episode, man. That was a lot of fun. And then also hearing your story. And man, it's just, it's a learning experience, and I get to share a story with the world, and it's awesome.
I think it's improving every time from what I'm hearing. I'm hearing from other people listening to it as well. I think you're touching people on things that they want to talk about and people that want to hear about it. And I think it matches up with a lot of people things that they do also.
Right. I know a future episode that I'm going to have is, I got a good buddy of mine, and we're going to have like a Ask a Black Guy, That sounds, yeah, it's, how is it going to be whenever, people are scared, that people see another race and they automatically shut down to do whatever. And
right.
I mean, this guy, I've known him for, I bet you almost 20 years, really great guy. I've worked with him and everything. And I was like, man, let's break down some stereotypes. Let's break some ice. He's like, hell yeah, let's do it, man.
There's no color at your workplace, is there?
No, man. He's just, he's a good dude.
Just another human being.
Oh yeah, I mean, I don't see that second.
That's the way it goes.
Yeah,
sure,
absolutely.
So it's funny you touched on that. I was going to ask you about working for the city. How'd you come about working for the city? And I know you just had your nieces in town, and they got to get in the fire truck and play like they arrested each other in a police car.
Oh, that was
so.
Yeah.
How is it you come to work for the city of Waxahachie?
Oh man. Okay, so, gosh, man, I worked for fleets. So I worked for XPO Logistics, massive trucking company, and I worked for another company called CFI, and I ran the shops, and I absolutely, I love what I did, but I hated who I was working for.
Right.
I absolutely just hated it with a passion. I hated the models. I hated everything. And Robin found it online, and she's like, hey, the city of Waxahachie is looking for something like what you do. And I was like, man, get out of here with that. And I get it, and I was looking at it, and I interviewed, and within 2 weeks, I was, go do my drug screen. I'm doing everything else. So
awesome.
It was really cool. And I'm pretty much building this entire department out of nothing. So I get to say, hey, this is mine. Like, I created this operating system that records all the data for the city, city vehicles, gets to, I had to get to see behind the scenes on kind of how politics work and everything, which I absolutely hate politics with a passion. And
Go Trump.
Everything. I mean, don't get me wrong, there's people that do want to do great. Like, I had Councilman Smith here, and he, the guy's working wonders, and he's actually helping the citizens. And I don't even know what political party he's even a part of. I just know he's helping the citizens.
Right. That's all.
But I'm kind of looking at, things going back. I'm building this entire department pretty much from nothing. When I got hired on, I sat in a desk, and the shop was closed. The lights were off. They handed me the keys, and they're like, "I don't know what you do here, but I guess you can figure it out." I'm like, right on. And so that's that. We've turned it into something actually pretty great. I want to say right now we've saved the taxpayers, and I know for a fact it's been $200,000 this year just by doing what I do. The dollar amount is actually more, but I can't prove it more. But I want to say it's over the actually. Like,
you can cover $200,000. That's awesome.
oh yeah, we saved the taxpayers' walks at you $200,000 this year, as well as I know for a fact we saved more. I want to say it's probably closer to probably 600,000, but I don't have the proof on paper yet because my system wasn't implemented until earlier this year.
Right, I got you.
But no, but the nieces, had Big Chuck and Heidi, and we went and met. It was
Oklahoma girls.
The Oklahoma girls. And no, it was a lot of fun, man. We they got in, they wanted to see what a fire truck was like, so they went and saw the fire truck. And had some people cheering for us on that.
Yeah.
So
That's growing, baby.
they were able to come down and they got to the fire truck. They were able to hit the sirens and ring the bell, and then they got into the squad vehicle and they pretend like they arrested each other and hit the lights and whatnot.
Right.
Oh, it was a lot of fun. So
Right on. I've seen a lot of pictures, in the swimming pool. I've seen you building birdhouses with them and stuff.
oh yeah,
That's cool. They get to come down to Texas and experience this area as well.
oh yeah,
and hang out with aunt and uncle. That's cool.
oh yeah. They're fun kids. And we don't have any kids of our own, and so to see them,
They got four-legged kids. Don't let them lie.
but they're hairy children.
There you go.
So to see them, it was it's a lot of fun. It's always a lot of fun giving them back.
Tell the truth, did they want to go back?
Oh no. They never want to go back.
That's awesome. That shows you're doing what you're supposed to be doing. So, from the last place you were working, how far were you driving? Because now you could almost walk to work.
Oh gosh, let's see here. It was depending on traffic. If I didn't hit traffic, we're looking at about 45 to 50 minutes. If I was in traffic, like most days, we're looking anywhere between hour and a half-ish,
So money-wise on your time and money-wise on your gas and enjoying your job is paying dividends.
Oh, just enjoy my job.
All over.
Yeah, just enjoy my job. It pays for itself.
That's awesome.
But yeah, it is nice being able to jump on the motorcycle and cruise to work and be like, man, even though it's 100 degrees outside, I haven't broke a sweat yet,
That's awesome. Yeah, and you rode the motorcycle up today. That's awesome.
That's right.
So, I thought about a question that I wanted to ask, and because I can tell you the story of when I first came up to Railport.
Okay.
So, I just had shoulder surgery. I'm up here in the brace and stuff. I weighed about 300 pounds, almost 300 pounds. And, but the thing was, it was also COVID. So it was a place I could come and have a beer and not have to wear a mask.
Yeah.
And I've lost a lot of that weight. And the what I'm getting at is through coming to Railport, I've met you and Robin and so many more other people that are some of the best friends I've had. I mean, I'm 57 years old, and I consider y'all some of the best friends I got because of Railport. So my question is, how and when did you find out about Railport?
So we started coming here. We were kind of wondering the time period because we couldn't remember the exact period. When I had Richard on here, we were talking about it. So whenever they first started opening on Fridays, it was 6 months after they first opened. And so we would come here on Friday. So I think that was 2018.
Yeah, I think that's right.
Yeah, so
I'll be
2018.
the 2020 guy.
Okay, so 2018, we got here 6 months after they opened, and we would come here on Friday night before we went on a date somewhere. And because on Saturdays, at that time, I was still having to go to work on Saturday mornings, and she had, working at the hospital. She was also working Saturday mornings, and So yeah, it was Fridays, and then eventually when our schedules changed, and we could come here on Saturdays, because it was the place is so cool. People come here every day they're open,
Oh yeah, for sure.
and yeah, so that's when we started coming here, and it's changed so much. Oh my gosh! But since you've been here since COVID, where we're at here now, who would have thought there'd be a podcast room at Railport?
Exactly.
I would never have thought that. Before, like, there was no back room here. There was no hair salon. There was no bike shop. There was no cigar lounge. There was none of that. It was literally the tasting room, the brewery, and outside. And what Richard and Shannon have done is awesome.
Yeah, I remember last year. There was a time whenever things were a little light, and we all came together kind of as a family, and just turned it all back around again. It's just, the friendship. I can't say enough about the friendships. I don't have enough toes and fingers to count all the really close friends that I have.
I hear that.
From coming up here.
Sure, absolutely. I hear that. No, it was actually really good because I got in 21 I got hurt really bad, and it was we came here to get away from. Oh, I guess you could kind of see the real world because the good friends that we met, and so kind of that day or two, and I don't think I even had a beer or anything. I just kind of come here and hung out and got to talk to people instead of just being cooped up in a room after being in the hospital for all that time. So yeah, it was. Oh yeah, the people here are really, really good people.
And I kind of see myself as a norm Railport.
Oh, I could definitely see that.
And we've definitely got those characters, that are here.
Oh yeah, shoot, yeah, absolutely.
One day I need to sit back and I need to figure out who's Woody, who's
Right.
Diane,
Yeah,
who's Fraser's wife, who's Fraser.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh my God, wow.
That would be pretty cool to put a moniker on each one of those. And
Yeah, that would be pretty cool. Who gets the label?
we need to do that.
Shoot, that'd be a good idea. Just kind of sit there and people come talk to us. Like, sorry, we can't talk to you right now. You need to go. You need to go out there. We're gonna people watch. We got to put a label.
Watch you see who the hell you remind us of.
Yeah. Who we can put the label on? Yeah.
Exactly. So earlier this year we went fishing. We went with Jimmy and Rochelle down to the coast and stayed in Jimmy's his aunt's house or cousin's house.
I think it was his cousin's
house. Amazing place. Right on an inlet.
Oh yeah, beautiful.
Oh,
Beautiful place. The one that almost caught on fire. It almost burned the place down. Yeah.
You did. But so when you're cooking steaks on the grill and you go back inside of probably $1 million house, you need to watch what you're doing when you reverse spearing some ribeyes.
Yes, absolutely. But ribeyes are still good though.
Oh, they were.
They were a little charred on one side, but little slightly overcooked.
What was that whiskey we were drinking?
Oh man, what whiskey were we drinking? Was it Redbreast?
No, I don't think it was.
He's a very important man here.
Gosh, Department of BA Affairs, making weight.
No man, what whiskey were we drinking? I don't know. It was good stuff though.
It was. I can't remember. When did the square bottle? Higher. Man, I've seen it in the store again too, but I just can't remember. But yeah, it was really good. Not that we drank a lot that night, or
we definitely did. We definitely did.
We might have done some singing, might have done some of that, but anyway, we went out and we went fishing.
Yes,
we went out and went fishing. We Robin found a charter for us to go out on. The guy was really cool. We were going after reds. We didn't catch any reds, but
she caught a red on the back porch. Remember?
She did catch red on the back porch,
and you filleted it, and then you lost it.
Yeah, I did. But we did catch a cat. Were they called gabbed cats?
I don't know. It was some kind of cat. It wasn't the hard head.
And the hard edges.
It was a regular. Yeah, you can't eat those. It was a cat, but it had like the angel whiskers on the front of it.
Right.
And
we were able to eat those.
Yes.
And
pretty good eating.
You were continually pulling up crabs.
Oh yeah. I think the only person that can catch a blue crab on a fishing hook.
Yeah, because you don't go around talking about catching crabs.
No. It ain't something you want to go tell everybody. But
definitely don't want to do that. I heard an ice pick works if you catch it. I wouldn't recommend it. So all right, you talking a minute ago, and this is something that I know nothing about, and I want you to open up and because I want to know about it. This is going to be the first time I get to hear about this.
Okay.
But you're talking about your accident
Okay. Yeah.
in 2021, and you got a good strong handshake, but it's not as big as my handshake.
That right.
And I've always wondered what happened, and obviously you've had amazing recovery.
Yeah. So
That's in a race car.
yeah, right.
And I've witnessed it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna let you go. You tell the story, Michael.
Okay, man. Well, actually, that's two totally different things.
Okay.
So we're gonna go. So by my hands and my feet, I actually have something called Streeter syndrome.
Okay.
And what it is that it is in, the baby's getting cooked in the womb, I guess you can say. And there is these bands inside inside my mother's womb. And what happened is that whenever I was, getting cooked, the bands wrapped around some of my fingers, wrapped around my foot. Actually, on my ankle, there's actually a really big mark where I actually wrapped around my ankle where I should have lost my foot. And so I was born, doctors take me back, this is the 80s, and everything's all mangled up. They get the knife, there it goes, cut it all apart. And after probably, I think there was like 10 surgeries. My mom could probably chime in. She listens to the show, so I'm sure she'll chime in on a comment and tell me how I was wrong. But I'll probably say about 10. But I was in surgeries for a lot of years. Even through elementary school, I remember a lot of surgeries. Just doing stuff here and there, make stuff better. But that was that because I was actually before me, I know there was one sibling that didn't make it because of the bands, the child didn't develop,
Okay.
and then, another one before that from what I remember. Like I said, mom will chime in
Right.
and do that. But yeah, but it's actually kind of fun, I tell people all kinds of wild stories, they see my tattoos, they're like, "Man, what happened to your hand?" It's like, "Goddamn, alligator bit my hand."
I'll tell you this. It absolutely doesn't seem to hinder you whatsoever.
No, like, man, I played the piano. I had to take a break for a little bit because, man, I just had so much. I love playing the piano, love music, and I had to take a break from that.
I didn't know that.
Oh yeah, I played the piano. Gosh, when I was younger, I played it for years and years, and then I stopped right before I met my wife, Robin,
Right.
and she never heard me play the piano. And then one day, I always told her this and that. She's like, probably she's like, "Man, you're full of shit," like. But one day she went and bought a keyboard off of Amazon, cheap $100 keyboard, and I was like, "Okay," and I kind of picked at it a little bit. And she's like, "Well, you can know how to play." I was like, so I took lessons. I want to say I took lessons for at least 2 years, and did a few recitals.
Right.
It was blast. Uh, but yeah, that was pretty neat. But no, it doesn't really slow me down a little bit. I will say certain stuff in the piano, it does kind of slow me down because I'm not able to grab all the stuff, but I can hit, most chords. I can do all that, I can play Beethoven. I can play Bach. I can play anything I almost really want to. When it gets to a lot of the higher end stuff where you gotta like people that see the piano, they see the black keys. It makes things a little harder. But that, but I work really hard on not letting anything like that affect me. And so we just keep on doing that. But no, in 21, it was a racing incident, and I drove a sprint car on dirt, and I was racing. It was a heat race, and we were always really, really fast. Like, man, I don't think there was a time that if I was actually doing something decent, I think I won 12 heat races in 1 year. That was something that I always won. And I remember I was racing, and it was super hot that day. And I'm racing. I'm just like, man, this car just doesn't have the power like I got passed. And I started getting cold. And I was thinking to myself, I was like, man, I think I'm having like a heat stroke or something. Because like my legs sure does feel cold. And the car still kept acting kind of weird and whatnot. And I was like, man, something's wrong here. And as I'm going, I start seeing little clear liquid on the side of my head. And I was like, man, what the hell's going on here? Like, that got a coolant? I was like, nope, it's coolant. It's hot. Now, keep in mind, I'm still racing. We're still going around the track. We're going,
Right.
And I'm going down a straightaway, and that, has like a little piece of the car is called a high-speed bypass. And it clicked, and then fuel just started pouring.
All right.
And I was like, oh my God, this is fuel. And I'm still racing, and then, they throw the white flag, and I was like, oh my God, this is scary. And so I'm thinking to myself, what do I do? Because on these cars, the exhaust goes right by you. It's an open cockpit. It's a sprint car. And I was like, man, because when you get off the throttle, fire comes out this exhaust. It's kind of a crazy ordeal. And I'm thinking to myself, okay, how am I going to do this? I'm going to roll off this throttle. I'm going to do this, and I'm getting a game plan together, right?
Right.
And I go, checker flag goes, I start rolling off the throttle. I was like, okay, we're good. And I'm going to go pull into this, pull into the infield, and I'm going to kill it.
Right.
Well, as I'm pulling in, I hit a bump. My foot comes off the throttle. No, my foot comes off the throttle.
Right.
Fire goes out the exhaust. I erupt in flames. And I keep in mind, I'm strapped in the car.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my, and at first, of course, I'm in a fire suit. I got all my safety gear.
Sure.
And we're going through. So I was like, oh my God, I'm in flames. I pull it in, pull it neutral, kill the car, and I'm trying to get out of the car. And so the way that you sit in these cars, you are confined. You got your harness, you got your steering wheel literally. It's almost like you're sitting on a bar stool, and you got the steering wheel between your legs. If you ever looked up at a dirt sprint car, it's a very, very tight fit. Like, I don't even know how I fit,
Right.
But you got to take the steering wheel off, and you have to undo your seatbelt to get out of the car. Well, I had these arm restraints. It's open cockpit. That way, if you ever do go flipping, your arms don't go out of the cockpit and get your hands smashed.
Right.
Well, I reach down, I pull the lever to get out of the seatbelts. Seatbelts come loose. My arm restraints get hung up, and I can't get the steering wheel off. I'm in flames. Flames are above my head. I can't see nothing. And this dumb, stupid luck where I end up going, someone parked this massive 18-wheeler. Well, the flagman can't see me. And a fire truck, there's a couple of fire trucks there. This wasn't their fault at all, but one dude was facing the other way. There was an ambulance up there that didn't work for the track, but I'm sure they're up there looking at some website they shouldn't be looking at.
Or something like that.
They weren't paying. They weren't paying no mind. They had some dude on the back straightaway, wasn't looking. He's probably trying to get the line of shoot going, And keep in mind, I'm in flames the whole time, and it ain't this shit ain't letting up. I probably got 15 gallons more of fuel in the back ready to burn.
Right.
And I'm just cooking, and I'm like, what in the fuck? Like, I'm roaring. I'm like, I'm like, that shit's hot, brother.
Was Robin there?
Oh, yeah. So, luckily, man, there was these two guys that were racers, and they see everything happening. And they take off running, and quarter mile, I see these two guys running, and I have a receiver in my ear, that the flagman can tell you everything. And the only thing I hear is, hey, guys, line up, we're going green. Meaning there's cars on the track. And here I am, and here I am on fire, and I'm like, what in the fucking hell is going on here? So those guys get it, and all of a sudden I hear, then they eventually see, because by then the smoke's coming. This is at nighttime. Smoke comes up, everyone's coming over there. This big gorilla dude, his name is Wally Beatty, and this dude, he's a gorilla. Because I was massively in shape. I was a big dude back then, and he goes there. He gets to through the fire. I see his hand get out there, and I see this gorilla mitt grab my fire suit and yank me out of the car. And he pulled me out of that car. I was probably about 220 pounds at the time. Solid. I was a brick. Right. He pulled me out with one hand. My head hit part of the chassis. Actually ended up breaking my helmet. Goes to show you that you need to buy good safety. If you think you're buying good safety equipment, you're more welcome to reach out to me. I'll tell you what's good or what's not. Just because you buy a $1,000 helmet, don't mean it's worth a shit when it says made in China. So he pulled me out. The other guy that was with him, he was actually a retired fireman. He put the fire out that was on my leg. My leg was drenched in methanol.
Right.
And so he ended up putting the fire out. And then, so I get out. By then, Robin and all the crew, they run out there. People are not knowing what the hell's going on, everything. Robin's actually took charge of everything. She's like, hey, you do this, you do this, you do this. Let's get this stuff rolling, And yeah, she's tough. Robin's a tough lady. And so I ended up, funny story. before I'm out of the car, I'm pretty toasty. And probably the last thing that happened that was funny, I guess you can say, is that, I finally get to the ambulance and we're waiting on care flight. And they won't give me any pain meds. They won't do anything because they can't administer pain meds in this ambulance.
Right.
Because it's pretty much an ambulance, like some EMT type stuff. They can't, whatever, I don't care. So they want to run an IV. So I'm slaying in the ambulance. They go and you get this bag. They hang it up to the top of it. Well, it misses. That big old IV bag falls, hits me right in the jewels. I mean, solid contact,
Insult to injury.
For a split second, my leg did not hurt.
You didn't ask him to do it again, though.
Oh, I'm sure I insulted his mother and his intelligence a few times. Right. Not intentional, but I'm sure the guy he sees me, just, 6 foot tall dude, totally losing his shit. Because, I mean, my leg is burned to the bone.
Oh, yeah.
And so.
What track was this at?
This is at Devil's Bowl in Mesquite.
All right.
And like I said, it was no fault of the track or whatever. It was purely bad situation.
Did a fuel line come loose, or
so
figure it out?
So what happened was that I replaced everything on this car right beforehand, and I bought these fittings, and then they were new fittings, but they're cheap China shit that I found out.
Right.
And so whenever I went to tighten it, the fitting on my, brand new fuel pressure regulator, brand new fitting, well, the fitting actually had a crack on the inside.
Oh,
and keep in mind, it wasn't like from over tightening, because I had aluminum wrenches. It was like I could just bear this gorilla,
Right.
It wasn't overly tightened. It wasn't loose, but when the guys took the car back, when I was in the hospital and they cleaned it up, and they were like, dude, you won't believe this. Look at this stuff right here. And I'm like, oh my God. Like, I mean, who would have thought of like a fitting like that? I mean, of course, it was all brand new. I mean, this car, I spent a pretty good chunk of change on making this car fast and nice and wanted the best stuff.
Sprint car on top of that, it's not a cheap.
No, it ain't like, just, it ain't like you're going to go get your pick 'em up truck and go do this,
Right, right.
But no, we spent some time in the hospital, and I actually,
what hospital did you spend in? I got questions about that. I'll explain.
I was at Parkland.
There you go. That's the burn unit.
No, man, those people they're angels, man.
Yeah.
And those, man, they, of course, best burn unit in the country, right, hands down. And they did a fantastic job. And man, so we get there, COVID time, yada yada. I had to go through COVID tests. I keep in mind, I'm toasted, like,
right.
That, so I had to go through all the COVID tests before they can even let me back there.
Well, they were able to give you pain medicine on the helicopter, though, right?
No, I didn't go in that. So it was a care flight. No, I told them. So I'm at the deal, and they're like, "Hey, we got care flight coming." I was like, "You can park that damn helicopter. I ain't paying for that son of a bitch. I'll walk to the hospital."
There you go.
And they looked at me all crazy. They were like, How about the ambulance service?" I'm like, "Yeah, that'll work. Yeah, I ain't getting on no helicopter. I will walk. No, sir." So, I mean, I love a helicopter ride.
Oh, sure.
But it don't need to cost me $200,000 for this helicopter ride.
Right.
I'll walk before that happens, we go through all that. They wouldn't give me pain meds because my blood pressure and heart rate was so high from the pain. So, man, I was there for probably 3 hours, and they got to go, "Okay, man, we got to take you to the burn tank." And I was like, "Okay, the burn tank, here we go." I was like, "All right, that'll be all right. Can't be nothing too bad. Can't be nothing I can't already done." So they go get me there, man. They strip you naked, cut your clothes off. You're like, "All right." We're like, "We got to clean you." It's like, all right, whatever, I've had worse things happen to me today. Well, brother, you buckled the fuck up on this one, because they start strapping me down. Like, I'm laying there and it's pretty much like it's a human parts washer.
Yeah.
And I'm laying on this ice cold metal table, and they start strapping my shoulders down. They start strapping my midsection down.
Yeah.
I mean, nothing's like being naked, being strapped down to something, Like, you're not about to have a good time.
It's not an experience you've ever had, and you don't understand, other than that you've got all this pain, and they're going to do it. Because simply, I had 2nd-degree sunburn one time, and they broke the brushes out.
Oh, so you know a little bit.
A little bit. So I'm gonna let you go ahead and
So,
explain the rest.
man, so I'm there, and there's this one older Hispanic nurse that was there, and she was so nice, and and I'm trying to do what I can. I'm trying to keep light on the subject, you know, and I'm trying to do my best to kind of crack a smile at this being just annihilated right here. And I go, and she's like, show me all the brushes. Okay, this is the brush we're gonna use to clean you, this and that. She's like, we got to shave you, and I'm like, well, gosh, if you're gonna shave me, at least call me back for a good time or something. Like, I don't know, one like,
Run the reach around.
Just do anything I can to kind of get my mind off, because keep in mind, I have no pain meds right now. Like,
The whole time, Robin's outside in the waiting room somewhere.
she was actually in the by the end it took me, I was in trauma, so she was in my trauma room.
Okay.
And so I'm going, she showed me the brushes, she showed me the waters that they're about to use, this and that. She's like, we're gonna have to use a razor on some stuff. She's like, I was like, oh, okay, she showed me these brushes, and it had like this one brush she's put in my hand. I was like, okay, that was super soft. She was someone like, this one's kind of harder, it's gonna be a little bit, different. And I go, and oh my God, it was the absolute worst feeling that I've ever had in my entire life when they start cleaning your leg or start cleaning any kind of burn. And it was just, it hurt worse than the actual burn, that I can say. And oh my God, it was yeah, that experience I ever want to go through ever again. But it ended up being, 3rd-degree burns all the way around my leg from my knee down.
Right.
So they took me out of that, and finally they were like, this poor guy needs some pain meds. So they finally started giving me some pain meds. And by then, I want to say it's probably about 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning by then. And this happened at 9.
9 o'clock.
At 9 o'clock, so, 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, now I'm finally clean.
6 hours later.
6 hours. 6 hours later, I'm shaved and clean,
Right.
And I don't think I was naked anymore then. I think they gave me a robe. But yeah, go through that, but it ended up being 3rd-degree burns. They ended up taking skin grafts from the top part of my leg.
Was that the only time they had the scrubbing?
No. They had to do it a couple times.
Yeah.
But at least on the other times,
Right.
they gave me some pain meds, and it made life a little bit easier. But man, it was man, I tell you, my wife, she was tough. After the hospital part was tough, but then after you get to the hospital part, you get to the hospital part, and man, she had to teach me how to walk again, and she was my crutch. Like, she was literally my walker.
Yeah.
And like, well, bro, she's a little bitty thing.
That was funny. Yeah.
5 foot, 100 pounds.
5 foot nothing.
And she was, getting out
The
of
rock.
Yeah, so like, and it was so, learning how to walk again, because you done lost all your muscle, literally burnt right off. And so she had to, literally, she would help me out of the chair. I had to count for so long before I, because it felt like my leg felt like a waterfall, but all the blood rushing between like the skin that was graft and behind it, literally felt like a waterfall. It was the craziest thing I've ever experienced. But I did that, the showering, doing all, she is a godsend. She is probably the toughest. She has to be the toughest woman I ever met in my life.
And probably one of the sweetest women I know.
Oh yeah, she's sweet, but she's
Salt of the earth.
she's tough though, I can tell you though, man.
Right.
So that was,
Those guys, I want to keep on my good side.
oh yeah, because she'll fuck you up at the same time, But yeah, she did all that, all the cleaning. The oh my God, it was tough. But man, but yeah, we did it. And
Yeah, because I look at it and I see your burn, I see your leg and stuff, and I never knew about the story and everything. And now I heard the story. It's amazing that that's all you got.
So I started taking this medicine called HGH, called the human growth hormone.
Baseball players used to take it.
You're right. Yeah, back in there when you had Sammy Sosa, McGuire, all the guys,
exactly.
yeah, they would take that. But
Yeah.
no, I started taking. I was taking that, and I would even, post all this. I was going to the, seeing the doctor at the hospital, the burn doctors and everything, because they do checkups, and they were just like, "Oh my God!" They're like, this is amazing. Like, you have healed. Like, they're expecting it to be at least, a 10 to 15 year healing.
Right.
And I think I had it all knocked out in 2.
Well, I just can't believe you didn't have no more burns throughout your body.
Oh yeah, right.
You got the flames coming through your legs and in your face.
Right.
And luckily, that's all you got. You know what I mean?
Right. I will say, any of the racers that do listen to this, don't buy some Chinese fire suit. I mean, so I bought this fire suit from this Velocita guy, and I don't give a shit. This guy should go out of business. And because I went to a preseason sale,
Right.
and he was like, "Man, I'm this local guy. I'm out of it's one of the North, South Carolina. I mean, it doesn't really matter, but I'm doing this, and I am, starting this company, and I would like to, try to get my name out, whatnot. About this suit. This was $1,000 fire suit,
Right.
and this was 2019, and I was like, okay, yeah, man, I'll buy your suit. Well, he's like, okay, well, you gotta, we have to, go ahead and place the order, and it's going to be shipped to you. I was like, that's weird. All right, that's fine, whatever. Because it was a preseason type deal. He was there as a vendor. I get it, made in China. And I was like, why the fuck did I buy a suit that says that this guy said that he's doing it, and it's made in China? But I was like, but by then, what are you going to do? I mean, you don't got it. It's time to go racing in, a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
You put it on.
It makes me think, we've been talking about me getting in one of your other cars and stuff and racing and stuff like that. I've been thinking about fire suits and stuff. So, I mean, this is something that I need to put a little more attention to.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. No, but I'm looking at it like made in China, and I'm like, man, this is some shit. But yeah, pretty much what this guy was doing, I think he still does it. I think he's still a company, but he's selling these suits for top dollar, promoting himself as he's a premier company.
Right.
And it's this garbage Chinese.
Right. Now you say
stuff.
There's a guy over in Fort Worth that's got the good stuff.
Yeah, his Pro One.
Might as well put him out there.
Yeah, I mean, I actually had a chance to race with Heffler for years. Whenever I was younger, I raced a station wagon, and he was sponsored by Buzz Post, had this awesome Trans Am.
I went to high school with one of Buzz Post's kids.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
I mean, you know everybody.
Yeah, I guess I do.
Yeah, you know everybody. Yeah, raced. But Heffler, he has a Pro One he's on the west side of Fort Worth now. And, kicked my ass for years. I never even got a chance to get close to him, Every time I thought I was doing good drag racing, this dude made me look like didn't even need to be there.
Right.
But great guy. But him and his wife do it. They make the seat belts. I mean, I've always used the seat belts. And I haven't had a chance to use his I've used his gloves, make great gloves. I haven't had a chance to use his fire suit yet, but I have to buy a suit for whenever I start running this new car now. And so, yeah, I'll definitely have a Pro One suit, Pro One belts when I go do that.
So through all that and everything, you get through all that, and now you're not doing sprint cars anymore. You're doing what is the actual? I mean, I always thought it was twister racing. That's what they kind of call it at Harder Texas Speedway, but that's a little bit different than what you're doing. Because in a twister race, if you get out there and you got your little car, I had a little Saturn I want to do it with, and let's say I went out there and won the race, somebody there can say, well, look, I'm buying your car, and you don't have no choice. But
right.
Your deal, what type of car is this that you're racing now? And it seems to pay pretty good. You had 5 or 6 guys racing the last time, and the purse was bigger than the amount of money they pulled in for.
Oh yeah.
Group.
So that right there we're talking about is called a Sport Compact, and that is it. I'm not going to say that's so much the car that I race now. It's a car that we have.
Yeah, it's a car that you have fun with that you're doing.
Absolutely.
I'm going to bring up the next one here.
Okay. Yeah, that's a fun car. So we bought.
And your wife runs with you.
Yes. Oh, but that was a lot of fun. I was actually able to. I don't know. Were you there the night that I flipped in front of her? I know.
I wasn't there the night, but let me start the story, and I want to know the truth and everything behind it. So, if you're listening to Robin, you started out in the back of the pack that night.
That's right.
And then she was up there around 4th or 5th whenever y'all started off. And she said it wasn't long later you come and bashed her in the door and run her, and as you're going by, waved at her.
That's right.
And shortly after that, Karma come in. So tell us about the Karma.
Well, I've never had a chance to race against her on anything besides go-karts or whatever. And these cars, it's supposed to be a really fun, low-budget class. And that's what I kind of keep it as. And of course, any class you have of racing, people are going to go way over the top.
Sure.
And so, I mean, we have a chance to be able to do that. We're not going to, because I believe that this class isn't meant for that. And so it's almost kind of like my
entry level.
It is an entry level class. Like, you race this class, you're not able to race any other classes.
Right.
At least with this racing organization. So it is considered entry level class. And so that's what we try and keep it as. And, or at least for my regulating myself. You know, I don't.
You're not going back to sprints.
No, we're not going back to sprint. I mean, I'd love Med's a blast.
It'd be cool to see. And what was that other little car? The little car fair racing that night.
Oh, those little dwarf cars.
Yeah.
No, we ain't
that
doing
looks
that.
way cool.
No, we're gonna respectfully decline that.
There you go.
But no, the little sport compact, it's a national contested category, but that was Robin did. But we got a really good deal on a car, and guy had, it was damaged, and we were able to fix it. Gosh, because that's what we do. We're mechanics,
Right.
and
I mean, you do work for the city doing that kind of stuff, right?
right. So, I mean, we are mechanics, and we got a good deal. We found a good deal on it, and I was like, man, this is same kind of car what Robin has. I was like, man, I can make this thing run.
Right.
And so we got it, and first time out, we had a couple of issues, and we had to start to the back. We fixed the issues, and Robin, she was starting up towards the front, and I told her, I was like, when I catch you, I'm going to bust your ass. And she was like, whatever, you ain't going to catch me. Well, I caught her very quick.
Kind of like you were catching everybody.
Oh, yeah, it was at Cleveland, I have no idea what I'm doing in this car. It's a front-wheel drive.
Right.
Turd, pretty much. Like, these cars are not fast,
Right.
And so, so I go, and I gave her I couldn't bust her in the ass, so she was consumed down, so I went from the top of the track, door slammed her, left, and I waved at her, and I was checked out, and I gave her some motivation to chase me at least.
Right.
So that was a lot of fun. And then we go, and I think it was probably like 12 laps later, I was hitting the brake, which apparently you're not supposed to do in this car class anyways, but I was doing it anyway, just because of what I'm used to. And the brake pedal kept going to the floor. Well, that's a new car we just got. Of course, there's issues. Well, that's an issue. Then I had no brakes.
Right.
And I was like, oh my God. And we go, and I went to pass the guy. I think I was going into like fourth or fifth or something like that, because there was a lot of cars there that night. And then a tire rolls off the right front, and I go flipping right in front of her. I thought it was hilarious, because like, who flips one of these things? I might be doing 50 miles an hour, and I literally flipped the car. Heck, I was trying to get in. I was like, man, we're going to fire this dude up and go again, So
Fire it back up.
I did fire it up. Fired up, and they're like, hey, man, you got 2 blown tires. I'm like, well, ain't that a bitch?
And then, what did Robin do? She pulled off in the infield, worried about how months, right?
Yeah, she pulled up in the infield thinking that I did something. I was like, I waved at her. I was like, go get him, honey. And she's just having a heart attack.
She's about half undressed out of her fire.
No, yeah, she's ready.
Yeah.
And she's trying to jump out, so I get out, to help her get strapped back in, and and she was just the poor girl was just a wreck,
Yeah, so you make sure
Yeah.
Fireboy Part 2 wasn't coming around.
Yeah, right. But yeah, poor, looking at it, I feel bad.
Right.
But man, it was funny at the time,
We're seeing you get her back out on the track soon.
Yeah, no, she'll be back out there.
We need to get Heather out there on the track.
Oh yeah, get her in the car that I flipped. That'd be a good one. Yeah,
Good one.
yeah,
Oh,
yeah. Put Kenny's wife in. That'd be really good.
Right on. So, that brings us to the next one. So, you got a drag car.
Yes, yeah. Went back drag racing. So So last year we went and ran with the national tour on the sprint car, and it was at a level that I'm not ready to be at. These guys have done it their entire life, and when the national tour shows up, these guys go that they clock in when they go to race. Like these guys, that's their paycheck. Whereas that's not me. Like I literally clocked out to go to this.
You're getting your feet wet, right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I've been doing it at the time. So when we started running, but the 360 guys, I've been doing it for about 4 years. Well, these guys have been doing it since they've been 4.
Right.
And so huge skill level difference. Like these guys knew more they were doing when they were 10 years old than when I knew what I was doing now.
You got something coming up in the fall this year, right?
So they do have the fall nationals. So I have to do my license passes and everything, and I'm not going to be able to do the fall national. So what we're planning on doing with the drag car is, make it, dot our, I's, cross the T's, and we're going to try and get it next year.
Okay.
We're not going to set the world on fire by any means, because this class it is an expensive class, but it's something I haven't quite done yet.
Right, you're not going to run up against Ashley Force, but the people that are doing it, they mean business.
Oh, it is the top sportsman class in the country. Like there's not a higher level sportsman category that you can get. So I mean, like if my class is called Comp Eliminator, well, the next class is Pro Stock, and that's professional.
That's
like
professional,
that's the next jump right there.
Right.
And yeah, we're not. So these guys, and there's plenty of guys that race professional category. Like in Pro Stock.
You guys all even this class, you all have I'm imagining they got some pretty big sponsors.
Oh
there,
my,
right?
yeah,
Right.
a lot of sponsors, a lot of very independently wealthy people.
So
And
how does somebody like you, not to say that you don't have some money or anything, but how does somebody like you compete in a field like this, other than the fact that you're the mechanic yourself?
at least knowing how to work on stuff helps tremendously.
Right.
Uh, I mean, but these guys, and I also had to find, so this class has tons of different categories in this class, different engine classes, different weight breaks, different whatnot. So pretty much I had to find something that I could use a little bit of what I know, and it could be somewhat affordable, I guess you can say.
Right.
Like this one has one carburetor instead of two carburetors. Well, carburetor costs $2,000. Well,
Right.
just by having one, I'm gonna save $2,000 right there.
All right, I got you.
Now, and then like the cylinder heads, it's a wedge style cylinder head. So if you ever worked on like your typical Chevrolet and you pull the valve cover off, how you got all the rocker arms are in a line, that's pretty much what that means. Is that no kind of crazy style stuff?
Right.
So I mean, it saves a little bit here and there, conventional small block stuff. So I mean, I could find pieces here and there. So it isn't like total oddball one-off stuff. If I wanted to spend $90,000 on the engine, I could,
Right.
but I'm nowhere near at that
know.
mark. But
So
some of these guys that do it, and don't get me wrong, there's some guys that will do it and they will drop $200,000 on a car and engine, and they're gonna go bust your ass. And
they're working with a big crew.
oh yeah, there's not. I mean, you'll see guys typically in this class, a big crew. I guess you could probably say it would be about 3 or 4 guys.
So I guess what I'm getting at is years ago I went out and did Skoda Copenhagen. And I worked at Don Perdone's pits. Every time they race, they pull it back in, they tear the motor apart and build it again.
Yes, yeah, for its fuel cars. Yeah.
Okay, so that's not what you're having to do. You run and then you retune. Do you change the oil? I've seen oil go in those cars, come out looking pristine, coming out looking like baby doo doo.
Oh, fuel is wild. Stop fuel is wild. So yeah, totally,
That's
totally
nothing
different deal.
that you're having to do then.
So like, man, what we will do is we'll get done with the pass. Granted that it's still together, granted this thing it scatters. We're crying.
Parachute car?
It has a has a dual parachute in the back. It is a dragster,
I got it.
but we get done making a pass, and pretty much first thing we do, we're gonna pull the valve covers off, and we're gonna, it's called checking the valves, where you turn the engine over, you're checking the valve lash, and also you're checking valve springs.
I got you. Okay.
And you're gonna do that every pass. And then you also have this thing called a weather station where you can read the weather. And depending on what the weather is depending on what you will actually change the air fuel ratio on your carburetors. They're going to use to change your carburetor jet, to do that. If the track's decent, you might put more air pressure in your back tires. If it ain't hooking, you can't back it off. You can also change the timing on it. 'Cause I got this, ECU in there that I can actually pull timing, add timing, whatever I need to do to help this car get down the track. Where so there's a little bit involved into it. Luckily, there's enough time that I'm able to do some stuff like that, in between rounds.
That's awesome. Listen to you talk about it because I watched the Street Outlaws. I've seen that.
Sure.
And I've been to drag strips, over there in Royce City and stuff like that. And I just watch the races. I don't watch what goes on behind the deal.
Sure.
I've seen the high class. Like I said, I was in Don Perdone's pits at one time. And, they played a joke on me one time. Once they fired up, they fired up and I'm the only one standing there. I don't know what's going on. Everybody leaves. I'm past the Skoda Copenhagen. When they fire that up and all that fuel goes, you can't breathe. You can't breathe. Same way they had me with a white Skoda shirt on. I thought I was cool at the start finish line with no ear puffs or nothing.
Oh, no.
So a white Skoda shirt that's covered in black rubber, and I couldn't hear for a day or two. So it's funny. Let's get the new guy.
They're right.
But it's really interesting to me, at least. I hope it's interesting to everybody listening. The technical part of what you're doing out there, and this is in your spare time.
Yes.
You work 40-hour weeks.
Yes.
Robin works 40+ hours.
That's right.
And you're still able to do this.
It's a lot of work. I mean, I will say the dirt track, the sprint car, that absolutely consumed every last spare hour that I even had.
Right.
So this is actually a nice change of pace because I'm not having to work on crashed cars or anything like that all the time. Literally, like, you crashed one of these or you did something wrong.
Right.
So, engine stuff, hell, I want to see you can have the engine snatched out of this thing in probably 30 minutes. So it ain't nothing too bad. So that would be like something big happen, a lot of engine stuff, because it is you got to think it's a maximum, effort engine, I guess you could say, where this thing will have its tongue hanging out. It's an old NASCAR engine,
I got you.
and there's I believe it's an old Hendrick engine,
I got you.
and
You can't have one better than that. Can you?
man, now at least I sure came with my price range hat on.
What's the fastest you ever been?
Oh shoot! So we had, let's see, on dirt, there was a guy with the radar gun at Devil's Bowl one time, and in the 360, it wasn't with the national tours. Whenever I was racing some other stuff, and they radared me down going down the front straightaway right under 150.
So that's in the sprint car.
That was in the sprint car on dirt.
What about a drag car?
Drag car. Gosh, let me see here. Man, I'm trying to think here. I drove my buddy Brandon's car at the motor place. I want to say it clicked there. I think I only did like 150 something. Whenever we ran stock, I want to say the Belvedere hit 130 a few times. I had a Calais. I don't remember how fast the Calais went. I know the Calais was faster. I have to go take a look at my time slips and stuff.
I got you. That's cool. You had a couple of WRXs. I might have been, a little over 140 a couple of times of those. I got a couple quick questions before we move on to the next topic.
Yeah.
One, I was a parachute rigger in the Army. Did you ever pack your own parachute for the dragster?
Got to do it every time.
There you go. And that's spring loaded?
Spring loaded,
Okay.
yes.
Next thing I want to touch real quick. You riding a Aprilia, right?
The motorcycle, yeah. Aprilia RSV4.
Okay, now you just changed something on it recently. You said you're going down the highway and you thought you were doing 100 miles an hour, and you look down and you're going how fast?
Yeah.
I mean, hold on. You do work for the city of Waxahachie.
I do work for the city of Waxahachie.
Let's say you weren't in Waxahachie.
No, sir. We were in Rieger.
There you go.
Yeah, we were Rieger. We were in Rieger Springs. Yeah.
This was before before you could buy beer here. You had to get to Rieger Springs to.
That's right.
We had to buy beer.
That is correct.
Anyway, you look down and how fast?
Yeah. So I was like, man, my head's starting to get kind of hard to pull forward. And I looked forward. Yeah, I was doing a $177. I was like, yeah, this is how you die.
Yeah. The motorcycle is impressive for sure.
Oh yeah,
All right,
bike is awesome.
Let's move. I got a couple more topics.
Yeah.
So this is one of the most interesting things, and one of the cooler things I know about you, from being your friend and everything. You have a crawfish boil. You're gonna have a crab boil soon,
Yeah.
and I know for sure. I've been to 2 of your crawfish boils, and I know absolutely for sure everybody is asked, "What do you need? Let us help you out. Let's pitch in." And you're like, show up with a chair and your own drinks.
Yeah, bring some beer. Maybe bring me a beer and bring a chair.
Crawfish ain't cheap,
Right.
and there's always been more than enough for everybody to eat. And you and Robin open your house
Yes.
to everybody, all the group. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And we come and have a great time, and I guess you just enjoy that.
Yeah. Don't get me wrong. We are not wealthy by any means.
That's where I'm coming up with the question.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. We're not wealthy by any means. But I really enjoy cooking crawdads.
And the crawfish are amazing. Don't get me wrong.
Well, that's good. Actually, some racers, when I used to race in Louisiana, I ran with a couple of guys, and they're the ones that actually taught me how to cook crawdads, and actually taught me how to cook, boiling food and whatnot. So that's how I learned it all.
And these are some big old crawfish Michael has shipped up here.
Yeah. Yeah, we get it from the Atkins, so when they go down to Galveston and get them.
I got you.
But no, like they told me to do it. But no, man, I enjoy having people over. And people seem to enjoy it, and so we keep doing it. Yeah, we'll do some blue crabs here pretty soon. But no, I enjoy having people over. I enjoy seeing people having a good time.
I mean, my only cost, and it isn't really a cost. I bring it anyway. I do some hot damn or Fireball moonshine.
Untaxed liquor
that Michael seems to like. And of course I'm gonna bring that, but it's an expensive venture, and I want to say I appreciate it, and I'm sure everybody else does.
Yeah.
But it's a really good time when you do it, and we have a good time. And I guess crab season's coming up at the end of the month.
Yeah, so get some blue crabs here at the end of the month, and that's some good eating right there. But no, man, I believe Robin even enjoys it. She likes to make those charcuterie boards.
She does.
And
Yes.
I want to, so, and plus it gives her time. She can let her hair down and have a good time as well. And
Yeah, she does seem to have a good time.
And-
And you open your house, a beautiful house in a little area not far from here.
right. It's a lot of fun. I like I said, I enjoy cooking, and people seem to enjoy the food.
Yeah,
And
we're
so we're
gonna
gonna keep
get
doing
some
it.
Tito's out of some crab heads coming up.
That's right. Yeah, we're gonna crack open that shell. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's gonna lead us to the next topic, my last topic of the evening, everybody. Uh, so Michael has a neighbor, and him and his wife, they have quails and they have chickens. His neighbor is Chris, and he has a barbecue food truck that comes up here all the
Yeah.
time.
Good directions.
Good directions. Hey, they call it good directions. I call it good damn food. You every time you buy a meal, you got a little stamp card and you stamp it and everything. And I was up there one time and I told him, this is my last one. I'm gonna get this stamped. I'm gonna get my food. And and she says, no, Chris said this is for free. I told her, well, I'll bring my card up here next time. I tried to bring my card next time. They said, no, Chris just gave you that food. You stamp it next time and you'll get your free meal the next time. Just really good people.
Oh yeah, they really, yeah. Chris,
A big old
yeah.
boy.
Yeah, he's
Big old barbecue man.
yeah, you think of Texas barbecue, and you see Chris, you're like, yeah, they got to mix some barbecue.
Now, hey, Chris did a couple crawfish boils up here.
I didn't get a chance to do that. No, I
They
didn't.
They were good.
That's good.
It's better coming over your house and eating for free than come up here and pay for them. But hey, paying for them wasn't bad.
I hear you.
It wasn't bad. So the reason I brought this up, we're talking about quail eggs, and she'd give me a bunch of quail eggs. And I'm at home cracking little quail eggs on, and I fried me a couple quail eggs. I didn't have a Barbie spatula. That's what you need to flip
Right.
fried quail egg. But anyway, you told me that I need to pour me a shot of whiskey, crack a quail egg in it, and drink it.
Yep.
So I did, and it's good.
Oh, it's damn good.
It's really good.
Cause you think, whenever people, or you go to a place to make like a whiskey sour, they're using, raw, chicken eggs,
Right.
to make a whiskey sour. Well, heck, you just did a quail egg. Quail eggs are super small,
Right.
and they're sweet.
They are.
And so what I can't remember how I came across this one day, but they get way too many quail eggs, so I get a couple, and
I've got them in my
Man.
fridge.
right, and man, I got it, and I think I had some cheaper whiskey at the time. I think I might have had
Like makes cheap whiskey better.
oh, it made it. I got it, and I cracked it, and Rob was looking at me. She's like, "What are you doing?" I was like, "Hang on, sit tight, honey. I want to try something here." And I drank it, and I was like, "This is amazing." And yeah, it is. If people have a chance to try that, it's an absolute game changer. And also, it's a huge Asian thing. Japanese and Korean, but when you get sushi, I'm gonna say the masago, they'll actually take and they'll put raw quail egg on top of the masago,
Okay.
and man, that is game changer as well.
I haven't had that.
Oh, if you end up going to get sushi, hey, can I get beef? Yeah, ask me if I got quail egg.
Right.
If they do, you need a masago with quail egg.
I'm gonna
And
try that.
man, it is good. But the whiskey, man, you don't have to have the super high dollar whiskey. You don't have to have any of that. But man, you go and you get, your whiskey, throw a quail egg or two in it, and
Right.
you don't stir it. You just let it sit.
And you
And
sit there and watch the whites almost cook in the whiskey.
oh yeah, the egg will
Yeah.
actually start cooking in the whiskey.
Cooking the whiskey. 'Cause I've had it with cheap whiskey. I've had it with Blanton's, Woodford's. Me and Charles next door here in the cigar shop, he busted out some $400 Four Roses.
Oh
Yeah.
wow.
And we did a shot in that,
Okay.
So, I mean, it's only been about a month and a half or so, but I took quail eggs all the way up to Idaho on my trip. I did quail egg shots in New Mexico, Colorado, Wyoming, Idaho, and Utah.
The national quail egg man.
National quail egg roll. Yeah. Most interesting quail egg shooter.
Yeah.
But man, it's been an interesting episode. I'm glad that I was able to turn the mic and let people find out a little bit more about the guy behind the podcast.
Yeah, it was a heck. Yeah, man, it was a heck of an idea when you said to
Yeah.
do this. I was like, man, yeah, hell yeah, I'll do this. Why not? Let's do it. I mean, I think I have some pretty cool stories to
You
tell.
learn, I mean,
You know?
and we touched a lot on about me in that episode, and I sit back and I thought, you know what I mean? We just scratched the surface, really.
Okay.
And I imagine that that's all we've done here.
Oh, but for sure. Oh, there's some, you know, my wife, Robin, she's always saying, hey, this is, it is, I have probably forgot more stuff.
Oh, yeah,
So
me too.
wild stuff. Yeah,
Me
same
too.
for you, but heck, I have forgotten more stuff than probably I will. But yeah, it's always an adventure, is what she said.
You ever sit back and told these stories to people, and they sit there and look at you like, yeah, right.
Oh yeah,
You know,
oh yeah. Like I tell them some stuff that's happened, and they're just looking at me like, "The hell's wrong with you?"
I mean, it's just how we went about life, the way we grew up, and the way things happen.
Oh, for sure.
You know,
Yeah, for sure. And, nobody has the same life experience of any means. Yours is a lot different than mine.
yeah, sure.
And, mine's all different than most people as well. And yeah, you just you go and you tell them, and you see how there's like such a diversity in how people go through life, and you're going,
Right.
huh. And then you look at some people like, man, your life is pretty boring, like.
Exactly. Exactly. And the boring ones are the ones that start to wonder if what we're telling them is true or not.
Oh, for sure.
And I hate that boring because I mean, it almost seems like their life is to the boring fact that they don't believe in the possibilities of such things happening.
Yeah. And also, you see these people that, like that as well. But I want to say people are almost starting to, like, they're kind of getting numb to certain things because they see wild stuff online all the time.
Right.
And so you go and you try and have these life experiences that people, or you share your life experiences with these people, and they're just kind of like, oh, well, you aren't so-and-so or what, and so they go about their ways. But yeah, I mean, these are real life experiences.
Real life. And hey, I love the fact that me and you are friends. I can't wait for many, many more years coming ahead. We're hoping to do a 30-hour tuna trip soon.
Yeah, that's gonna be exciting. Yeah, we gotta get that going. Yeah, nothing like taking home some good tuna. That's a good eat right there.
Exactly. So,
And then, also, man, you're gonna be, heck, we gotta keep doing it. We'll keep doing the show. Also, you're welcome back anytime you want to
yes,
come.
sir. Yes, sir. I
You
can't
just-
wait to do a group one time.
Yeah, we're gonna get it set up. Might just do it right over there and get a group, and we'll just kind of go from there.
And I hope I'm not getting too far ahead of myself here, but I want to tell everybody there's cameras coming soon.
Yes, yeah, there actually is cameras. We're trying to, I'm kind of a one-man band on this. I do have a guy that's helping me out, which is great. And so he's gonna kind of show me how to do some video stuff. But there will be video. And so right now it's exclusively on Spotify, but when we get video, it will still be on Spotify, but we're going to also put it on YouTube.
Awesome. Awesome.
So I'm pretty excited about doing this. And like I was telling people, I was like, man, I'm going to give this an honest run for about a year. And if it takes off, man, I'm 100% in. But if it don't, man, it was fun.
Let me brag on you for a second.
All right.
So from looking at it and seeing data from new podcasts
Mm-hmm.
that are out there in the last 1 month?
This is 1 month old right now.
1 month old.
Well, so when this one releases, yeah, we'll probably be about a month and a half in. Yeah.
Top 50%.
Yeah. That's pretty neat.
Top 50%. That's awesome.
I
I mean, Spotify is nationwide, people. Worldwide, is it?
yeah, it's worldwide.
Worldwide.
Yeah.
Top 50% is first month.
Yeah. They were just for 1 month podcast,
Right.
and there's a little statistic thing that they kind of sent me, and I thought that was really neat. And so, okay, I might be doing something right, but I believe also people that are starting these up, they don't realize how much work is involved in this.
Right.
They don't, I mean, obviously, heck, you were the host today, so you had to think, man, okay, let's kind of go, yeah, I'm going to go talk to this guy. It's great. He's like, oh, what the hell are we going to talk about? Well, we got to talk, okay, we got to have a couple of guidelines here. People are going to probably want this story, okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, we let everything go up, but we go off on a tangent. Okay, this is how we're going to bring it back.
Yeah.
And so you got that, but then you got, well, people want to know what you're doing. Okay, well, you got to promote it. Okay,
Right.
well, I'm releasing 2 episodes a week. Well, you got to show, okay, well, I'm releasing this one. And then you go, oh, okay, well, I'm releasing this one. Okay, well, I got to advertise. This one's getting released because I release on Monday and Thursday. So Sunday, I get it set up. Okay, this one's happening on Monday. Monday, I advertise, okay, this happened. Tuesday, I let them know that, okay, hey, if you didn't catch it, this one's live. Wednesday, advertising for the next one. Thursday,
Right.
this one released. Friday, hey, let you know this one released. Well, then as I'm doing that, you got to kind of think of something to kind of keep people
Like
entertained.
another one, yeah.
And you're making another show. And then on top of that, you're having to keep up with your Facebook page, because I only got a Facebook page right now. I just started the YouTube page.
Right.
And as I'm making the page, you don't realize it done had 3 hours into creating this page. I haven't released a video yet.
Right.
Just getting it. And so you're like, man, it is a lot of work, but it's fun,
Enjoyable.
It is enjoyable. And
I love hearing what's coming next.
yeah. And I like to say what's next. Who's willing to be on this show?
And I know you just did an episode with the congressman, or not the congressman, city councilman
City councilman.
here in town. And you were hour and 45 minutes in, and your video shut down. You already saying, right?
Yes, that was.
So it isn't a simple venture that Michael's taking. So let me ask you this: if you enjoy this, what you're hearing right now, if you're enjoying this, tell your friends.
Yeah.
Tell your friends. Tell them, hey, give this guy a listen.
Yeah, I mean, if it's people listen to it, they love it. And
Now, Michael's not going to ask you to do that, but I'm going to ask you to do that for him. If you enjoy hearing what you're hearing, if you like my episode, or you liked anybody's episode, or if you even enjoy something, or you want to hear about something, find out how you can get a hold of Michael and say, hey, interview this guy maybe.
Yeah, I mean, it's
Or our girl. Yeah, our girl.
our girl. That's right, because we had the first female one that was released not too long ago. We had Big K, and so yeah, no, it's, if people want to do it. I mean, I got the Facebook page, the Spoofers Lounge podcast on Facebook. You can comment on this episode saying, hey, man, I like this, don't like this, you suck, you great.
There you go. Reach
Hey,
out and tell him what he could do better. Reach out if you got somebody that's interesting and would be a good podcast. And Michael's the type of guy who'll look into it, and he might well put him on the air.
Sure. I mean, if someone got a story to tell and they need an audience, well, I ain't gonna stop them, So, yeah, I'm totally game for any of that,
Well, I think we had a good cast today.
Yeah, let's.
I'm gonna kind of finish mine out the way I finished mine out. Guys, if you got issues out there in your lives, reach out to somebody, get some help. Everybody have a good day.
Rodney, appreciate it, buddy.
You bet.